The BMW Panoramic iDrive is here, and it's unlike anything you've seen before. At the heart of this cabin design revolution is the BMW Panoramic Vision, a pillar-to-pillar monster display. It is coupled with a new 3D head-up display, a central screen, and a surprising multifunction steering wheel to create a truly unique and intuitive user experience. But here's the thing, it's not just a bunch of extra screens in extreme positions. What's truly revolutionary is how BMW is using it to redefine the driving experience in the cabin, giving you exactly what you need when and where you need it. Plus, and this is what makes it even more exciting for people who love car interiors, it leaves plenty of room for cabin designers to get creative. Sounds too good to be true? Let's dive in to see what all new BMW interiors will look like, starting from the stunning Neue Klasse later this year. BMW is doing it again. 25 years after the original iDrive, they are again rethinking how we interact with our cars. The Panoramic iDrive aims to give all the critical information right where you need it, but without overwhelming you. What makes it so different? It boils down to these four key components. BMW Panoramic Vision. Imagine a display stretching across the entire base of your windscreen. That's what it is. It reflects information from A-pillar to A-pillar onto a black printed surface in the lower section of the windscreen. 3D head-up display. Taking this a step further, the 3D head-up display projects crucial navigation and driving assistance information. Central display. You will still find a central touchscreen display, but it's been redesigned. It's now closer to the steering wheel for easier reach, and the menu structure has been optimized for quick access to essential functions. Multifunction steering wheel. The brand new steering wheel got an insane design, and it only illuminates the buttons you need when you need them. Haptic feedback adds a nice tactile touch. But first, a little context before we go into the details. BMW's iDrive has a pretty interesting past. When it first arrived in the 7 Series, it was meant to declutter the increasingly crowded dashboards. BMW's groundbreaking idea was that all major car functions such as radio, navigation and climate controls could all be commanded with just one single controller. The year was 2001 and almost the entire car world thought BMW had lost their minds. Owners kept freaking out about the new interface, most reviewers gave it a bad verdict, but BMW stuck with the system, constantly refined it for newer generations, and ultimately they were right. Today, it is one of the most acclaimed control concepts of the industry, and most cars have a controller that resembles the iDrive. But now, this new system is here to break with conventions again. Although the approach is the same, we are a quarter of a century later, so the execution is radically different. They say they want to use an optimal combination of analog and digital controls, so expect to see physical switches for things like gear selector, indicators, volume control and the like. Navigation, media, phone calls and displays can be controlled via the multifunction steering wheel. The Panoramic Vision displays key driving information right in your line of sight, but it also lets you customize what else you see, from music info to outside temperature. It's divided into 3 sections, and each section can handle up to 2 configurable widgets. The integration of the BMW Panoramic Vision creates a 3D effect for the driver and passengers and can be personalized via the central display. The 3D head-up display sits above the Panoramic Vision display. It's all about keeping your eyes on the road. According to BMW, the content in the Panoramic Vision and 3D head-up display is neatly coordinated. Imagine seeing the correct lane and the direction of the next turn visible on the head-up display, while the information on the distance and the actual road is displayed by the Panoramic Vision. At the same time, you can monitor the entire trip on the central screen with route, arrival time, charging stops and more. All this by only moving your eyes. No menus, no zooming, no distraction. BMW calls this the central display. The screen has a matrix backlight. Look how they paid special attention and didn't just put a rectangular tablet in the middle, but opted for a unique free-cut design instead. The touchscreen has the shape of a parallelogram with 2 of its edges cut off. One side is nicely inclined towards the driver and has a sidebar with important controls. Isn't it promising to see that BMW goes with this nice complex shape instead of a regular tablet? And they even structure the surface for different functions. Widgets can be easily swiped from the central display to the Panoramic Vision. You can have 6 of those displayed at any one time, and they can be arranged as desired. And this new steering wheel? Come on, look at the vertical spokes. Now that the thing that we used to call instrument panel is far away at the bottom of the windscreen, you don't need to look at it through the steering wheel anymore. So designers are free to utilize the space between the hub and the rim. What BMW did here is absolutely insane. They created the first production car steering wheel with an upper vertical spoke. The structural design of the spokes themselves is exquisite and is built upon by the funky metallic inlays in the rim to create a truly revolutionary steering wheel. The steering wheel serves as the primary physical control. There are two massive consoles for the buttons and switches on both sides of the hub. Their arrangement follows the traditional BMW principle of driver assistance functions on the left and entertainment controls on the right. The operating system only illuminates the buttons you need right when you need them. Haptic feedback adds a nice tactile touch. I know it is only made possible by the pillar-to-pillar screen, but for me, the bold and intricate design of the steering wheel is an absolute highlight of the panoramic iDrive. But it gets even better. As the steering wheel and the central screen are the only must-have traditional dashboard elements in the new concept, there is a huge amount of free space for interior designers to play with. From pillar to pillar, the entire front segment between steering wheel and windscreen is there to be reinvented, which opens up a lot of exciting possibilities. This striking concept is a rather steep bet from BMW, but they didn't just dream it up. They analyzed usage data collected from 22 million connected BMWs globally and conducted studies involving around 3,000 people. Powering all of this is BMW's operating system X. Think of it as the brains of the whole system. It acts as the intelligence hub behind the new display and operating concept. It is based on the Android open source project software and it is designed for constant updates and customization. You can even use personal photos as background screens. And it is customization where the panoramic iDrive gets even more interesting. For a start, you can arrange up to 6 widgets on the panoramic vision, putting the info you care about most right in front of you. Then the system learns your habits and preferences, offering proactive suggestions and uses artificial intelligence for natural language processing. Basically, you will be able to ask your BMW to take you to an exciting mountain road with a Michelin-starred restaurant nearby, just like you would ask a local friend. And your car will even remind you to turn on sports mode when you get there, in case you regularly do that before fast driving stints. So is panoramic iDrive the future of car interiors? It is certainly more than just a bold vision. By combining fundamentally different display designs, super smart software, and customizable design vibes that hopefully fits the respective model, BMW is on the path to land something big again. The real-life version will be presented together with the first Neue Klasse model at the end of this year. Until then, let me know below what you think about BMW's new interior design concept. Check out my other video about the main problem of the Mercedes S-Class cabin and subscribe if you care about car interiors.